Greetings! Welcome to Titan Quest. Let's have a look at the stream is up. My streams, both Kick and Twitch. Seems to be working. Where are we? We are here in... Looks like, Necron Temple from Warhammer 40k or something. These are the demons. They are not undead. This is good. So they die so easily. And more demons to kill. Demons are complete pussies. Spear runner, I'm gonna run the spear up your ass. Okay, we're supposed to go this way? Oh no. Yeah, you're not so tough. I thought that was an enemy. That's my Pokemon dude. Okay. Melanoma? Yeah, it's a melanoma. Oh no. Well, hey, I cured cancer. I'm a hero. Need a hero. Well, no, we don't need a hero since I am the hero already. The Argonaut will save you from cancer. So yeah, in my stream title I said I'm gonna talk about naughty political issues. So there's this new song in... Oh, okay. Maybe I should get rid of these enemies first. They look a bit tougher. Yeah. Try this way. So yes, the song. There's some song that people in Germany are singing, some Ausländer Raus or something, which means foreigners out or outlanders out. I believe. I don't speak German, but well, I do understand a little bit. And of course, you know, the saying is the speech of the hate and everything, or stuff like that. Then it's just like, you know, it's... Yeah, that's no longer an argument, really. Then, you know, nobody really truly cares about these, you know, naughty words. They're like, you know, these magic words, like in, you know, war. How the Okay, I guess it's this guy. His magic attacks do like, you know, super damage or something. Okay, I have to be really careful of him. So yeah, but this, you know, your you know, hey, you're full of hate, you're racist, whatever. They're words that, you know, magic words that once had power, but like in World of Warcraft and at least, well, I know in Hearthstone. So I assume that The spells are from World of Warcraft. There is this. Come on, go, you fucking idiot! Go there. Okay. It's like I was here and I clicked on the stone, but no, he didn't know how to walk there. But anyway, so yeah, there's in Warcraft there's like shadow word death or power word shield and stuff like that. It's poison. But yeah, there's words like that. You say the magic word and then it does something powerful, kills you or buffs you or whatever. Whatever magic effect, and they used to work, but nowadays because they've been so overused and they're so cringe, nobody really believes in that stuff anymore. At least they shouldn't, because it's like why do Germans want the foreigners out? And well, I think it's only specifically certain kinds of foreigners, like pretty much every European country for the past 10 years has been overrun by immigrants from the Middle East and North Africa, or just Africa and of a third world or whatever. What's this? And it's not that like, I don't think the issue is ultimately even that they're from the third world. It's like the main issue, I think, is with the governments of EU and European countries, or all Western countries, and their policies that they seem to hate their own populations for some reason. Because it's not like spontaneously half of the Middle East decided to go to Europe or anything. It's because of various policies that seem to favor them, and also like there are many cases across Europe in recent years that they somebody of Middle Eastern origin, they commit a crime and then they are they are hardly punished or not punished at all. And if you point it out, you are the bad guy. You're racist, and it's of course complete bullshit. And that's not to say that all Middle Eastern, not a hashtag, no, or not all Muslims. Yes, I agree totally. But the question should be, okay, what should we do with Muslims who do bad stuff? And of course, you should apply the law. At least so far in European countries, I think murder and struggle, snuggle, and stuff like that is illegal, legally speaking, but not in practice always, because of the of political reasons. Run away, run away. Grandmother, die. Okay, you are dead now. Because like no, I'm an immigrant. I'm from Finland. I live in Hong Kong. And you can say like, oh, well, then why are you against immigrants? You're a hypocrite. Well, no, because I can compare the differences between my situation and these criminal immigrants in Europe. And when I say criminal, I mean the criminals, not the decent ones. And there are decent ones. I've in my previous job, I've had many co-workers from the Middle East, and most of them were decent people, and I don't personally bear any grudge against them or anything like that. But anyway, for me here, because I'm in Hong Kong, they for one, they don't like try to send, busloads of people from Finland or Europe here, and to basically try to replace the native population. And also, I don't get all kinds of handouts and stuff here, as the immigrants or quote unquote refugees get in Europe, because it's not promoted politically. My immigration to Hong Kong is not in the same way. It's not the political interest as it is for some reason in Europe, that they want people. They want Europe to be quote unquote multicultural, and that just means basically slowly or not so slowly getting rid of the native population. That's what it is. They say it more or less, like, if you listen, like, they might not announce it, on every TV channel blatant in your face, but if you do pay attention, you will notice it. And it's not a secret or anything. It's not some wacky conspiracy theory, because you can see both the effect and the words when you pay attention. I should go here. I maybe it's OCD or something, but I don't want this area left behind. But yeah, especially when Germans want to have control of their own country, which is like horrible. Like, well, I guess it's sort of like, let's say half of the population of the West are in favor of Palestinians having control of their own country, whereas the other half is in favor of Israel having control of their country. But like, if Germans want the same thing for themselves, like that's literally the N-word, and by N-word I mean Nazi, which is another of these, magical power words that has sort of lost its effectiveness. Because like, whether you are, conservative or a progressive, it's common in the West that you accuse your opponent of being a Nazi, and it's just like, I've gotten really tired of it, because like, whatever bad things the Nazis may have done, it happened almost 80 years ago. Well, Nazism was destroyed almost 80 years ago, and they are not responsible for the problems we have now in the 21st millennium, or 21st century. It's the, I guess, third millennium then, or whatever, Yeah, it's 20th century Fox, so this 21st century. So yeah, the German National Socialists are not responsible for the Cold War, or they wanted to destroy communism, whereas communism was the second half that enabled the Cold War and everything that happened in the Cold War, whether it's Korean War or those are the demons, yes. The Korean War, Vietnam War, whatever, Afghanistan in the 80s, all of that stuff. none of it had anything to do with Nazis. And that's not to say that, I think, well, Nazis did nothing wrong or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they don't have the mythological power that people attribute to them. Like, it's not like, I don't know, Sauron or. Well, I don't know even Sauron, but any kind of Dracula or something. Dracula has been killed, but and his ashes are scattered in the four corners of the earth or something, and but still even though Dracula is dead, he's evil, manipulates people to do his will, and then they gather up his ashes and resurrect Dracula. I don't think that the mustache man has that sort of metaphysical power. What I would rather think with the Nazis, they are used as an excuse that you can say like, well, at least we are not like them, and when we do bad stuff we have good intentions, but they had bad intentions. Like many, let's say, left-leaning individuals, I've heard them say that like communism in Soviet Union or wherever may have killed millions and millions of people, but at least they had good intentions. They haven't used the exact same words, but that's basically what they've said. Whereas when Nazis killed millions, then they had bad intentions, which is complete nonsense, especially since communism, according to official numbers, killed many more people. And that's not to say, I wonder, like, what would be the numbers, what would be the kill count um, for us, capitalist, democrat, liberalism, whatever system we've had in the West since the end of the Second World War. So it's just basically, the Nazis are blamed, especially since nowadays you call like in America, you see Republicans calling the Democrats like Nazis for they do something that, for example, because in nowadays it seems to be more like the Democrats in America are more like pro-Muslim and pro-Palestine, whereas the Republicans are more pro-Israel, and they say like, oh, because they are the Democrats are anti-Israel, so they are anti-Semite and literally like Hitler. But well, that's not true, because I said that the Nazis are not responsible for all of this, our current problems, but they are sort of responsible for one, and that is Israel, because they had the Havara agreement that before the war started, the mustache man wanted to get rid of the Jews from Germany, and the most effective way to do it was to send them to what was then called Palestine. That's, you can check it out. The Havara agreement. It sounds like a Romulan warbird from Star Trek, but whatever. It's not something you learn at school, but it is a historical fact as far as I know. But it's not like the state of Israel was. It wasn't like the Nazi invention. Like, I think the Balfour Declaration. I think it happened before Mustache Man came into power. I'm gonna check online when did The one was the Balfour Declaration, written. Yeah, it's in 1917, the year of Finnish independence. Yeah, so the Balfour Declaration was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so that's what it says in Wikipedia. But yeah, of course, there's many factors that led to the creation of Israel. So,
you can't carry anymore.
Have to go sell my stuff. Can I take any of this crap?
You can't carry anymore.
I guess Plains of Judgment probably has a better store, like facilities. Where is here? Here are the vendors.
And now a mortal, is that it? First these demons,
What's
strange
this?
news,
What's
now the
this?
living come traipsing through our land.
Oh, accidentally sold it, didn't see what it was, but whatever, it probably was crap. What's this? Looks cool. It is fast. Energy leech. It's energy leech. If it was energy drain, it would be good, because then it should work on all enemies. But these, like, I think undead and stuff like that are immune, so. Besides, I don't really want to play with the weapons. And yeah, I think maybe the DPS is still better in my Schlichlich Skinner, even though the damage is a bit lower, but it's very fast, and this is fast. And also, it has a better pierce ratio and all that stuff. So
Hermes, take you far from here.
but yeah, my main argument regarding the N words of Germany from the 30s is that they are used as an excuse by modern political or contemporary political movements that, you can always point to, like, hey, we may have, done this or that, we may have bombed this or that country or done whatever immoral policies or spied on our citizens or neighbors and stuff, but at least we are not the Nazis. And it's just an excuse to, to do bad things, and then point out, like, well, these people were worse than us. And it doesn't really matter at this point whether they were actually worse or not, because they've been gone for nearly a century. And of course, I would like to have, like, honest academic discussion of both the good and the bad, that I killed somebody, that the N words did in Germany back in those days, because, like, at least there's this is something I learned from a really naughty neo-Nazi source. Oh, okay, I'm gonna say this and then talk to this guy.
This cannot be
From okay, I cannot do it. They looked from. I learned it from Star Trek, the original series from the 60s. Is there's some planet uh, where Kirk and his crew arrived there, and then everybody they have Nazi iconography. They have National Socialism, and then it's turned out that there was a federation, some anthropologist or something there, and there was great inflation on the planet and stuff. And he thought, like, well, the best way to fix it is to introduce National Socialism, since compared to the Weimar Republic that preceded the National Socialist German Third Reich, then there was great inflation and sexual immorality and stuff like that. uh, Before, and that partially led to the rise of the Third Reich. Then he thought, and actually I do believe before the war started, they did manage to fix somewhat some of these problems. So in that sense, I would appreciate having an honest look of what policies they did that were actually good. Like, I'm sure there were plenty of terrible policies, but it would seem that there were some decent ones too. But it's nowadays you're not supposed to talk about it because they're like treated as the mythological evil. But like I said, in my opinion, it's just an excuse that to excuse your own immorality, because you can always say, like, well, maybe I'm not perfect, but at least I'm not like that mustache guy who's been dead for almost 80 years.
It's safe in here. Come. I found the key and unlocked this door. I have been all over these plains and have seen many things. I have seen Cerberus turn from his true purpose. So beware. He
Ooh,
stalks these
Cerberus. So can I now open these things? Yes, I can. And yeah, so speaking of the, because there are some parallels between, the Weimar Germany and the state of the West nowadays. And I'm not the only one to make the observation, certainly. And like, and I have a piece of advice, because some people are saying that the N-word ideology is making a comeback, which has many people worried. And it's like, well, I guess you can say it might be true in two different senses. First of all, because nowadays, whenever people like to label their political opponents as Nazis, so naturally, if there are two or more opposing political ideologies, both of them will be Nazis. So yes, in that sense, Nazis are making a comeback, because everybody's a Nazi nowadays, which is very silly in my opinion. It's lost all sense, because and I do remember when I was a teenager in the 90s and stuff, maybe you called some teacher or something who was very strict, you call them a Nazi. But it's like, I think it's still different, like a teenager calling even though it might not be historically accurate, but there's a difference. Teenager insulting a teacher or something, or to actual political discourse that tries to be serious, and just overusing the word that it loses all meaning. And another reason why the ideology might be on the rise is that, since well, even though both sides of the political spectrum use it, it's especially used by the left. Like, they are still more well, they have the, Antifa, anti-fascism, what they named their movement. So, and everybody hates these far leftists nowadays, or most people hate them. So, if they say that everybody who opposes them is a arg, hey, at least the respawn is really close. So yeah, if everybody who opposes the left is labeled a Nazi, then the, people who don't like the left may think like, oh well, maybe I am a Nazi, because if Nazis oppose these guys and I hate them and they're clearly evil, then maybe the Nazis weren't so bad. Whether or not this label has anything to do with the historical National Socialists in Germany in the 30s and 40s. So yeah, like my advice is, if you don't want, and of course, like maybe since people notice that there is this great amount of deception in the media, in the political sphere, and all of that stuff, they are re-evaluating a lot of stuff that we've believed to be fact. So maybe it does make some people sympathize with the original National Socialists. And so my advice is, if you don't want people to become Nazis, maybe you should, I don't know, change both your narrative, like how you insult people, and simply your course of action, because it's like instead of simply trying to shame people or insult them for not going along with whatever political agenda you are pushing, maybe you should try to understand, like, why do they have certain views, why don't they do this or that, like why are the Germans saying that they want the foreigners out, like instead of just trying to suppress them. And the song, like the Ausländer Raus song, it's I think it's like some German techno, not German, French techno song, like l'amour toujours, like love always, something like that. I think that's the original, and then the Germans made their own lyrics to the song. And that song, the French song, I think is being banned from Oktoberfest, the big beer festival, but it's supposed to be in October, right? So it's gonna be several months away, so why do they ban it already? So anyways, so instead of trying to ban songs, especially like if the original French song isn't, it's just some pop song or whatever, why do you punish the innocent song for people making their own version of it? Like maybe you should have a look and why are people so unhappy with the situation. But that's of course, like, as we can see, like the Italian example, Meloni, she was supposed to be the very far right next Mussolini or something, and then she got even more immigrants to her country and was a complete sellout. And that's how most politicians are nowadays. So you can't really blame people for wanting them very radical solutions. And radical, well, both radical and extreme, because I really hate the fact that radicalism is equated with extremism, since radical just means you go to the root of the problem, which should always be the way to handle these things. Okay, the Cerberus.
You cannot open this door.
I want to go get more potions. Since I have very few, it's likely that I will need more. But yeah, you have to, like, the old example is like, let's say your river that brings water to your village. It's there's some sort of corruption there, or poison, or pollution is the word, is polluted. And then, every day you send a bunch of people to clean the water so you can drink it or swim in it or whatever. But the next day it's polluted again. So then you should of course go, this is the wise man said, you have to go to the root of the problem, and then you go upstream, and then you see that there's some, I don't know, a factory there dumping pollution to the river, and then it floats down to the village every day, like stuff like that. But nowadays it's almost like heretical to think like that. They label you an extremist. So yeah, if you don't want people to turn into Nazis, maybe you should, evaluate your. Da, da, da. Yeah, it's gonna be too hectic to talk, really. Oh, I thought I died. I didn't. Which is nice, I guess. Ah! Damn it. Dagnit. Okay, at least we don't have to run far. Or do I? No, yeah, it's just here. Die. Okay, good. Yeah, it wasn't that tough. It's sort of disappointing, actually, that Cerberus wasn't that tough compared to the stupid Titan before in Mount Olympus or something, before we could go to Hades. But it's like, I guess politics, they can be more difficult to understand, but like, this same phenomenon is very visible in pop culture, and there's like, plenty of YouTube. Oh, what's this? Hall of Judgment?
Greetings, Slayer of Titans.
Okay, I guess I should talk to them
Thank
first.
you for freeing us, hero of Greece. When the rest of the Olympians left, Hades heard the call but would not follow. He condemned us to this prison, but we were the lucky ones. The heroes of Elysium are at this moment fighting his army. They have no hope of victory, but they fight on. They await you, For the blind seer prophesied that a living hero would save us all. I judge you worthy, for you seek to save what is good. Go to Elysium and help them, and to Agamemnon, who leads them. The path is now open.
Okay, nice. Radamantus.
What he desires by force.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to activate the discussion.
Hades sought our help to take the world of men. He offered us command of his armies and our own kingdoms when the conquest.
Fine, let's go to Elysium. Battle for Elysium.
You have come. Titan's bane, you have come. What I have foreseen has come to pass. My destiny is nearly fulfilled. I have one more prophecy to speak. Make of it what you will. Only living blood can crack the gate. Only living flesh can unmake the makers. Only living hands can free the breath of spring. Only living spirit can banish death. I have seen. Now make my visions true.
So yeah, the same phenomenon as is going, happening in politics is certainly visible in pop culture. Like, you don't like our Hollywood movie, you don't like our video game, and you are racist, sexist, misogynist. It's like the popular Hillary Clintons are racist and sexist and misogynist. Damn, I haven't listened to that in a couple of years. I should.
Myself?
It's a good song.
Your goods are safe with me.
Mystic, what does the... Oh, okay, it's the respect, dude.
It is decided.
Like, the first clear example was the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. And, like, angry video game nerd. Oh, why that? Oh, okay, it's Rebirth, and this is the teleport thingy. Like, angry video game nerd, he made a short video saying, his review of the new Ghostbusters movie was like, I haven't seen it, I refuse to see it. And he didn't say any reason about anything about women or feminism, but then there were articles written saying he's a sexist and whatever.
Come to join the battle. Alas, it cannot be won here. You must stop Hades himself. The old prophet prattles on about a living hero entering Hades' palace. We cannot enter that place, so we fight and we are destroyed. Yesterday we lost Pentheus and Lycurgus, and today, my old rival Priam. Brave souls destroyed forever by Hades' ambition. He was lord of this world, now he is just another tyrant. A tyrant you must overthrow. Beyond the front, Odysseus has penetrated the fiend's lines. As ever, he and his men use guile where brute force cannot triumph. Find him, and he will help you enter the city. His plots have breached impenetrable walls before. Go quickly. The hopes of all men, living and dead, go with you.
And just now, the new Furiosa movie, the Mad Max movie without Mad Max, and it's flopped. And then there was some writer who said that you have to admit that most moviegoers nowadays are just idiots or assholes or something like that. Well, I guess I'm not a moviegoer. I don't know. Like, who cares about Hollywood except you really want Hollywood to be destroyed. Admit us in Elysium. And yeah, I need the I think I need one more key. No, it's more than one. I still need 2 keys for the Hades treasury. Ah, okay, there's
It is
some
good to see your
guy
face.
here.
So we meet again, in the happiest of places, and in the bitterest of times.
Okay, I guess this was, yeah, this admits. So, okay, now I have no side quest except this one. This is good. Oh, walk in the fields of Elysium. Okay, cool. And yeah, another thing that is, nowadays is used for, is used as an argument, saying that, "Oh, you're hateful," and it's actually, yeah, it's ridiculous that it's illegal in some places to feel an emotion, which hate is. Is absolutely dystopian and insane. That they're trying to ban an emotion. If you take them at their word. Hate speech, hate crime is that if you do a crime, a violent crime or something, yeah, sure, it should be illegal, like you should go to jail or whatever, but I don't think it should be illegal to feel an emotion. And the left likes to accuse others of being hateful, even though the left is usually actually acts more hateful towards. They are truly more intolerant than um, than anybody else. But it's like, of course, it's not good if you are consumed by hatred. Your life isn't gonna be very happy. But it's like there are bad things in, like Deanna Troi said in one next Star Trek Next Generation episode, like hate itself is not a bad thing. If you see an injustice and you feel hate, it might, the emotion might motivate you to correct that injustice, and that is factual. It's a true statement. So what it is, like, these people who claim to oppose hate is they are opposing, I would say, they
We
oppose
chose this door.
morality,
You must know this, for we knew that it was right.
Without my chariot, I am
and
forced
they
to
oppose
rely on
justice.
messengers, and lately they have fallen to raiding parties. Our flank is in danger of being overrun, and he must shift his lines accordingly. A messenger must be dispatched to Ajax, and we need a capable warrior to serve as the escort. If you will accept this assignment, speak with me again. You are noble through and through. Lead this messenger to Ajax in the Dalian Meadows.
So is it an escort mission? Okay, gonna go here first. But the Ausländer Raus, like when I hear people singing the song, I don't feel that they're even being hateful. They I think they is the love for their country and their fellow man, their neighbor, as Jesus would say it. because you know, for some curious reason, uh, Europeans, and now also it includes Japanese, you shouldn't be proud of your own country, but like you know, if you are Middle Easterner or something, or black, then you should be really proud of your country and your heritage, but you should leave it behind to go live in the West. And this isn't to say that, you know, I think that, you know, like I don't want to, you know, I've opposed you know, the wars in the Middle East that George Bush and his pals started back in the day. So it's like I can say I've been intellectually consistent, that, you know, I opposed the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq back in the day, and then I opposed the invasion of Europe by people from Afghanistan or Europe. And there's some, you know, political globalist factions who are, you know, who have orchestrated it, and they're trying to turn people against each other, like, you know, whether it's the West against the Middle East, or the, you know, simply Westerners against each other or something. But it's, you know, this globalist elite
These
that's the
siege
problem.
striders wander the battlefield and are cutting down our men like wheat. It took a major assault to destroy one, and there are 5 left. They walk about the Anaslasian battlefield as they will, and we are powerless to stop them. Please, destroy them if you can.
Okay, now I have more side quests. Yay! What's this? Some big thingy. Anesthesia? I really love my escort quests. No, not really. But yeah, I think it's really time for, you know, regular people to stop taking these super rich elites seriously. Oh, what did I press? I tried to press my some attack button, but I pressed the function key instead. Oh, okay, so those are the things that the quest guy was talking about. Another one of these thingies. But you know, whether it's the, you know, political elites, you know, like like the German guy who was licking toilets and eating shit and stuff, you shouldn't take them seriously, or, you know, the Hollywood actors who just say that, "Ooh, Orange Man bad." And it's not that I'm not convinced that the Orange Man would really fix the problems if he was re-elected or anything. But anyway, so don't take their words seriously, except in the sense that, you know, when they say they hate you, whether they hate you for your religion, your normal sexuality, or did my messenger guy die? I guess he did. To go get him back. So yeah, they hate you for your race, your values, your
We have
morality,
another messenger waiting. Go to the tent with
or yeah, no, that you should take seriously. And it shouldn't really matter like whether you're a Christian or Muslim or atheist or whatever. Steel stalkers. Oh yeah, almost dead. Ouch, that's not very polite. I tried to do it quickly since I didn't want my, escort guy to die, but oh well, then I died instead, and then he died, of course.
the course of the battle depends.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Run away. Regroup. I lost my Pokemon, but now he's back. What's this thing? It's another Seed Strider. It's good. It's distracted by the archer up there. Very nice. What are these guys doing? It's like, oh, check out the statue. It's so cool. I want to be just like him. I lost my Pokemon again. That's not nice. Okay, I guess I killed them all finally. No, I just saw somebody casting magic and I thought I have to kill him, but it was one of our guys. Ooh, look at the ass. Nah, there's enemies to kill. I have to go back. Leave none unkilled. And a large chest. So how far do I have to go with this Nestor's messenger? Oh, troglodyte bull. So is he home now? I guess. Barbarian braces of reasoning. I can imagine it. Gonna beat you up. Do you understand now? Huh? Do you want more punches to the face? Huh? I love it. It's the funniest thing I've seen all week.
This is dire news indeed. Nestor orders that my troops support Menelaus, but I cannot. My men barely hold this area from the monsters coming from those caves. If we abandon the area, they will be on our rear. More orders I cannot obey.
Mentor's Kuklos. Some sort of weapon. Why do the quests, like, you know, the messages, they stay there for like 70 hours? It didn't used to do that. What is the Kuklos? Where is it? Okay. Well, why? Why then? This is useless. Garbage. Why give it to me? Just wanna shove it up my ass or your ass. Hail Anurandaram. What is this stuff like? What are they doing? I can't attack them or anything. They're not attacking me. But yeah, I support Germans singing the band song. And well, I won't sing it for two reasons. Maybe I still will be get banned myself if I do, and also it would be torture probably to anybody hearing it. Fury's Heartblood. Is it from Fury Road Furiosa, whatever? Mad Max. I haven't seen Fury Road either. Because like when it came out, plenty of people said this is great or whatever, but I was like, both because it's not really about Mad Max, even though it's a Mad Max movie, although maybe I think there is some guy there who is called Max, but it's not Mel Gibson, so. And also I recall, like, you know, the director, he said some stuff on Twitter back in the day that, you know, oh, feminism is great, I'm feminist, whatever, blah blah. Nestor's messenger. Do I still have to talk to him? Ah, okay.
I cannot shift my lines to support Menelaus at the Achaean Pass. But you can take a few hand-picked warriors and relieve him. Speak to Idomeneus. Take some men and hold that camp. The fiends are going to send every sword they have against it, and if it fails, we will have no chance.
Okay, I was afraid. Or do I have to send another?
They are all we can spare.
Do I have to protect them, or are they just gonna help me? Because, you know, if they help me and then they die, whatever. But if I have to protect them, then oh no, it's not pleasant. Just to clarify my position on, like, you know, immigration and mass immigration. Like, you know, I'm not against immigration. Like, you know, let's say an Iraqi guy wants to move. He really loves Uno Turhapuro. You have to be Finnish to know who that is or what that is. and I don't know, beer. I don't know, Koskenkorva. He loves Uno Turhapuro, Koskenkorva, and I don't know, the winter and sauna and stuff like that. And he wants to move to Finland. It's like, sure, why not? You know, and of course, and he obeys the laws the same as other people. And it's like, I'm not against it, but like, you know, when is, you know, governments try to send thousands or tens of thousands or millions of people from a very different culture to your country, and then it's a different issue. And even more so when you know, some of those, even though it's a minority, but when they do, they commit crimes, and then the government refuses to uphold, you know, basic laws in a, you know, the way any sane society would, then yeah, I have a problem with both with the government and the immigrants. And that's how it should be. Like, yeah, any sane person would hold the exact same position as me, except, like, you know, okay, if somebody is like truly no immigrants, zero, you know, 0% immigrants, whatever. I'm not gonna say that's insane. I disagree, but it's, you're entitled to your position, I suppose. I'm not gonna say, well, it's unrealistic, I would say. Thanks, John. Yeah, I don't use Discord that much, but maybe I'll have a look. Oh no, more of these Walker things. Okay, I still have 2 guys left. Illusion soldiers. Can I heal them? I wish I could give them health potions. Well, if they're undead, maybe it would just kill them, like damage them, like in Final Fantasy VII, at least. Maybe Final Fantasy in general, like, you know, if you use a healing spell on the undead, they will take damage instead. So yeah, I think in a Cosmo Canyon in Final Fantasy VII, the original one. I haven't played the remakes, and I'm not that interested in them. So, anyways, in the Cosmo Canyon, the boss in the caves or wherever, I think that is undead. And if you use an X potion on it, because an X potion heals all of your damage, then I think it will kill the boss. Like, but I think at that point, like, you know, X potions are still quite rare and valuable. So I think that's the case.
I was wounded in the last attack, but my men will fight as long as the banner flies over the hill. The chance to fight alongside a mortal who has journeyed to Mount Olympus will no doubt bolster their morale.
Hey, this melanoma is back. I thought I killed you. What's this? I can push it. Oh, what? Suddenly spawned out of nowhere. You spawn of the devil. seems much tougher than the ones earlier. Oh, damn it. Well, at least wasn't far. Oh no. Pick this up. What's this? Oh yeah, it's another siege engine. Siege Strider. Oh no, almost died. Yeah, but they seem much tougher than the ones earlier. Why do? So am I supposed to defend this place from the enemies or something? I wasn't really reading those, like, you know. Maybe I'm sort of story-wise when it comes to game, I'm all or nothing. Like, you know, if I like the, you know, Shadowrun, it had a decent story or a pretty good story, and I happily read it and, you know, paid attention to it and thought about the implications. But here is like, you know, yeah, this is just an excuse to go kill monsters, get loot.
To have been driven off. No doubt they will return, but you have bought us time to rest and get reinforcements.
Depleting Akinakis. What is this? Okay, it's like a curved blade of some sort. Another one is sort of the same as the other thing I sold earlier. Right, this is simply better than the garbage I have now. Yeah, I should go. Well, I guess I can go now. I'm gonna fill my inventory.
You can't carry anymore.
Scrap from here.
Your inventory is full.
It's full. Then let's go sell it to the city.
My arts care not for life or death.
So wait, this is bracers. Yeah, these are quite crappy without the buff. Where can I? Here.
My arts await your patronage.
And then I noticed there was even better bracers in my inventory, and then I had to de-enchant those two. It's gonna be my luck, or isn't it?
Hermes, take you far from here. My stores are just as good as up there.
These stores are as clean as an elven arse.
Goodbye, living traveler.
I guess there's not that much left in the main campaign, but there's probably gonna be, you know, Hades, I guess, is gonna be the final boss, but probably other mid bosses on the way that might not be so easy. I don't know, what sort of assume that there's gonna be trouble ahead. Although, you know, when I had problems with the Titan dude, yeah, and I read up on how to defeat it, then some people said it's gonna be the toughest opponent in the game. At least in the main game, maybe the DLCs will have something else. But have to see when I actually tackle the DLC. Well, I have to buy them. I think I only have one, the Norse one. It's very God of War, right? I've never played any God of War games. But yeah, that's like, when I think of God of War, like, you know, back when it came out, it's like, yeah, maybe, you know, if I get it, I have a PlayStation 2 still, and, you know, when the first game came out, I was like, you know, maybe I'll buy it if I see it on a sale somewhere. Like, I wasn't that interested in it. But then once, when I was in university, we went to some guy's place for a party or something, and he had a PlayStation 2, and the only games he had were like every God of War game that existed, I think, and then maybe one sports game or something. It's like, you know, I was like, okay, does this guy have, you know, he has his PlayStation only to play God of War, and I thought that was so weird. I don't get it, like, you know, like, I understand people have their favorites, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you like God of War, you know, maybe I would like it if I played it, but, you know, what I've seen, I haven't been that interested. But it's like, you know, there's some people, at least used to be, maybe not nowadays since Blizzard really sucks, but, you know, some years ago there seemed to be people who basically only played Blizzard games, which is like, why? I guess I'll go to the cave. Oh, these things. I don't like them. A lot of, like, some, I don't know, amulet beholder, mind flayer thingies. Squid Game. Haven't seen it either. I'm the kind of guy, like, you know, maybe I would have been interested in watching Squid Game, but you know, when it came out, everybody was talking about it. It's like, I guess my mind gets overwhelmed, even though it's, you know, I might actually like it. But my mind gets overwhelmed, so then I was like, I hear about this thing everywhere, so I don't wanna, you know, watch it or play it or something. Like, you know, if there's some game that is everybody talks about, it's like, no, I don't want to touch it. I already hear about it everywhere. I don't want to, you know, I don't want it to occupy my mind anymore. Like, you know, it's enough. Especially, like, I think I mentioned it before, like, you know, when the first Harry Potter book came out, I was already a teenager, and it was a children's book. So I was like, you know, it's a children's book, but hey, I like fantasy and stuff. Maybe I'll read it. It seemed interesting, but then, you know, it got super popular, and then there was another Harry Potter book, and another, and then there were movies and stuff, and everybody was talking about it, and you couldn't get away from Harry Potter. So I hated Harry Potter. Just simply, you know, I hated it before it was politically, you know, expected for you to hate Harry Potter. It's simply because, you know, it was like they were trying to ram it down my throat, and I really hate that. And to go back to the original topic I was discussing, uh, the N word, Nazis, because everybody, I think, many people have similar instincts as myself, even though I think mine are much stronger. That I really hate it when you're trying to force something onto me. But I think a lot of people have similar sentiments, and when everybody says that, you know Nazis are bad, don't be a Nazi, and when the people saying it are truly obnoxious, then you're like, well, maybe Nazis aren't that bad. And if you really think that Nazis are bad, maybe you should change your tactics, and because you're just gonna turn people into Nazis, whether they're gonna be ironically or unironically. So it's not a winning strategy, unless of course it might be, because the Nazis lost in the end. So if you turn your opponents into actual Nazis and then history repeats, then they will lose. So maybe it is a sixth dimensional chess or something. Maybe, just maybe. But I personally wouldn't risk it, that history is gonna repeat that exactly. So there's another cave here. Yeah, I guess I should go there first. This is probably where I'm supposed to go. Wait, my Pokemon is dead! You bastards! You bloody bastards! Cave of Apollo! Ah, so they have a space shuttle here. Ooh, albino spiderweb. Sounds cool. What's this? Spell piece. Cave of Apollo. Is there a quest? I have to talk to Algenius to finish the quest. How can I get to this cave? Clearly, there's a door, it has to be open, but how do I do that? I'm just gonna check online, because otherwise I will keep worrying about, thinking about it. Titan quest. Cave of Apollo. I don't know why is it so. Maybe I should. I'm using Bing to search. Maybe that's my mistake. Sucks. Titan quest. How to get. Okay, so I have to go to Cave of Artemis, pull a lever. So where is the Cave of Artemis? Why are these guides so fucking useless? Like, okay, I think it's later on in this area, like the Celestia. What's going on? Laggy, laggy. Guess I'll go double check the name of this cave. That it wasn't Artemis, but I don't think it was this one. This is the Cave of Artemis. Okay, okay. So there should be a hidden lever or something. Where is it? You know, when I play a game like this, I don't really want to, you know, rack my brain too much. Like, I don't. I just feel it's gonna be a waste of time if I try to figure this stuff out by myself. Because this isn't. Here. Okay. So I pulled it. Okay. Then let's go back to the other cave. La 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 la. Okay. Now I'm sort of out of stuff to say. My vocabulary for the day has been exhausted. It's in cooldown and okay, yeah, it's open. So what is this? What is it? Bottom end of a scroll. I wonder if I have the other stuff. I'm not sure at all. Well, when I get back to... Well, I guess I should go back because I have that one quest, the, you know, Walker quest thingy. I should go turn it in, I guess. So I guess it's in Elysium. I hate these ghosts because it's difficult to see if they have, you know, the exclamation mark.
From Troy is how I got my start.
Spell piece. Yeah, I have this spell piece. I think there should be a third one, which yeah, these are just some different than jokes or something. Yeah, let's go sell the crap.
Life, heroism does not end with life. Look at the fields before you. Great deeds as ever there were.
Duration. What is a duration? Is it a spear? I was some lightning stuff, whatever.
Take heart.
Picard?
Once in
Picard, the elfling thief,
Hold the
halfling.
cup myself. Good luck, friend.
So yeah, he should be Alcinosius, or is he this way? You are not Alcinosius. Then maybe he's up ahead this way. Here? Oh, okay, yeah, he's here.
You have enabled us to hold this poor piece of land. I pray that the siege striders shall trouble us no more.
Scroll of vulnerability. Okay, let's go bring it back. I guess I should check my relics, these things. Maybe I can, artifacts. Maybe I can forge a better artifact.
A true hero. You are welcome here, friend.
I don't know what. Where can I get the first key to the fissure, and what do I do with them? Anyways. Come on, game, keep these together. Are you stupid or something? Shroud of Eternal Night. Whoa. Ooh, I could create this, but it doesn't seem that impressive. I get well, the bleeding is nice, and there's some extra stuff, but it's not like. Guess I prefer my current artifact to that thing. Sunstone. Okay. This is a great. So I need to create sunstone first. Do I have a sunstone scroll? Nope. I assume that the sunstone is gonna be created the same way. Death Rattle Chaos Cube. There's still plenty of artifact stuff. I don't have. Okay. Oh well. I guess I could have added some stuff to it, but I think this is gonna be obsolete pretty soon, so I'm just gonna bear with it.
Safe with me.
Okay, let's get back to action. Where is the portal is here. I don't know. I like, there's this argument about art being political, or should it be political, or is it political? But I'm gonna say this game is political. It always, well, it's not only political, but Academy of Sophocles. So it's the father of sophistry, right? Rebirth. This game always makes me, wanna talk about whether it's politics or just random crap. Sometimes I talk about role-playing games or movies or whatever. Oh yeah, like that thing. It's long time ago. I was wondering about some Emilio Estevez science fiction movie where aliens are trying to take over the world and create global warming. It's actually, I think it's The Arrival, and it's Charlie Sheen, not Emilio Estevez, but I think they are actually brothers. But yeah, so like I said, this game is political. It makes me talk about all sorts of stuff. What's going on there? There's some evil barrier of badness. But I think I've said it before. I do believe that art is, say, inherently somewhat political. Can I go through? Okay, I can go through. Okay, I thought it's gonna be like a physical barrier, or it doesn't damage me, doesn't give me a debuff. Okay, it's dead, destroyed. Oh, what's that? I'm so scared. I'm gonna check out this place first. Like, the difference is that, well, I get this horrible feeling of deja vu. Like I've been here before and said this before, but like, I think there's basically 3 levels of political. There's like, the modern left kind of political, that it's not about art or entertainment at all. It's only about the political message, which is why it sucks, both as a piece of art and both also as political propaganda, because it should be subtle, at least to a certain degree. Or it's just gonna be really lame, and only lame people will take the message to heart. And then there's more subtle stuff, like I guess you can say, like stuff like damn it, George Orwell, like 1984. It's obvious that it makes a political message, but it's still like, it's not so ham-fisted or anything, and it actually, sort of makes you think and stuff. 1984, and I haven't read Animal Farm, but it's like, also makes a statement that I guess makes sense based on what I've heard about the book. And then there's, stuff that isn't. I guess that's majority, at least back in the old days. Majority of stuff isn't trying, or also plenty of Star Trek episodes and stuff. They used to have some sort of message, usually about well, whatever, take your Star Trek episode, and it's gonna have some sort of message, but it's not so ham-fisted. Like, okay, one episode from the original series is, just to use an example, is there's some planet. Wow, what? That's groundbreaking ideas. There's a planet, and then Kirk and pals arrive there, and there's a war going on. But the war is waged entirely by computers. But there's like a computer simulation, and when the simulation says that okay, there was an attack on the city, and 1,000 people died. So none of the buildings or the infrastructure is destroyed, but both sides are expected to they're expected to eliminate 1,000 of their citizens to keep up the war, because if they don't do that, then the war might escalate back into a real war when they fight with real weapons and bombs and whatever. But of course, Kirk screws it up. He finds it abhorrent that that this war without consequences to a certain extent, and as, the way they do it on that planet is that the war will be perpetual, because even though people die, and it's very unfortunate, but it doesn't encourage the people to have a peace treaty. But Kirk destroys the machine or whatever, and so anyway, that's a political statement, even though it's, I guess, it's basically statement about the Cold War, even though Cold War was Cold War, it wasn't that hot. And of course it's called the Cold War because it was involved Russia or something. I think it was in an episode of Daria or something. Yes, do this. Yeah, let's raise this stuff. I don't want to think. So anyway, and then the third level is of politicalness in art or movies or whatever, is that is not trying to make a political message, well, something like Lord of the Rings. I guess it's in the middle between trying to make a message or political message and not trying to, because it's of course Tolkien, it was a Catholic, and he wanted to have some sort of Catholic message, even though it's not in your face or anything. But there is evil cannot create, it can only corrupt what already somebody made or something, that sort of stuff. And in a sense that's political, but it's also deeper than politics. Can I go up there? I guess. Maybe I should go back this way. I think I saw some enemies. But yeah, okay, I guess, this game, in the sense that, it's not trying to make any particular message. It's just, it gives the story and everything is just an excuse for you to go kill stuff and loot stuff. I don't think it's trying to make any political statement. But I think it is more like the mechanics of the game inspire me to talk about stuff, because it doesn't require my mental attention as much as when I play a game that has a heavy emphasis on story, or even like, you know, tactics. Even like when I was playing Shadowrun, my mind was more focused on the game during battles, even though, you know, there wasn't much story to pay attention to. But this is like, you know, it doesn't require that much effort, mental effort most of the time. Okay, I guess this area has been cleared, so we can go back. But still, you know, this game, it still has, you know, basically, you know, it has themes of evil and corruption, and good has to defeat it. It is still political in some sense, and you know, the left nowadays, as crazy as it might sound, you know, they might side with the evil ones, like, you know, well, maybe the demons, you know, you're being intolerant because you killed the demons and stuff. You know, I'm pretty sure if some, you know, leftist commentator played this game, they would make some comments like that. Oh, Philo's Plateau. I think one of the objects, the keys I'm supposed to get for the Hades vault is supposed to be somewhere here. Yeah, it's probably that thing over there. You fell down funny. Empusa. See, like now my, you know, mind has to have almost 100% attention. Yay, flamestone, flame on! Oh, was this Night Mistress's clutch? Sounds cool. Okay, so it's a staff, requires more than 100 more intelligence. Huh? Come on, I was looking at my loot. How dare you attack? How dare you? Guess I'm supposed to go this way then. I'm gonna have a look around here. Okay, I've been here. There's loot on the ground. I guess the best part about the crappy loot is that you know where you've been. It's like Hansel and Gretel. I think the fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel has been accused of being anti-Semitic since they shoved a witch into the oven or something, and it's like, well, I don't know. I think it says more about the people who identify with the evil witch that wants to eat children than the people who support the children. It's like it's insanity. I was watching this video by Harmful Opinions and about some guy who this way. I'm supposed to go this way, I guess. Some guy who said that in The Hills Have Eyes, the movie, there's like some inbred cannibals somewhere. This way. So the cannibals, and there's like some regular family and some cannibals, and the cannibals are actually the good guys and the family are the bad guys because of something. But I've seen the movie, but that's like probably close to 30 years ago, so I don't remember a great deal about it. But there's like they always side with the bad guy, and it's like, because hey, when I watched some cartoons, when I was a kid, I used to side with the bad guys. Like when I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I used to root for the bad guys, Shredder and stuff. And it's not that I hated the Turtles. No, I liked the Turtles. It was my favorite, toy line and stuff for a long time. But I hated the cartoons because it made the bad guys look too incompetent. So I felt bad for them, and I wanted them to succeed. Like they weren't well written. So that's why I usually, when I see that, like when I see badly written bad guys, I start to hate the writer and I support the bad guy, because I feel like they're getting shafted. Like they're either written to be too stupid or too cartoonishly evil, that you're supposed to, they're trying to force you to hate them. Like for example, the Avatar movie, with the Na'vi and Pandora and all that stuff. I rooted for the so-called bad guys, the humans, the colonel or whatever he is, because it was written, he's such a badly written bad guy, so I rooted for him. Or there was some Bond movie. These are evil. Okay, I thought they're like, they're the ghost villagers, and I was like, okay, why are there ghost village NPCs here? But okay, they're actually enemies. But like, there was the Bond movie. It's probably the newest Bond movie I've seen. I think it's Quantum of Solace, and there was some like South American drug lord or something like that, and he was also like, "Ooh, I'm so evil, and I abuse this woman and stuff, and you're supposed to hate me," and I sort of sympathized with him because he was stuck with a bad writer. But yeah, I don't think that's really political. But there's like, I'm just saying that, you know, I think there's a difference between the motivations why I sometimes sympathize with the bad guy, and when, you know, left contemporary leftists sympathize with clearly, I don't know, evil characters and stuff. Because, like, you know, that was already nearly a decade ago. I remember seeing, like, there was some feminist who allowed some sort of parasites to live in her pubic hair because of, you know, tolerance and stuff. It's like, I think that's very symbolic of, you know, this so-called tolerance going too far. And, you know, I used to be a leftist, but, like, you know, the left, you know, the left used to be about caring about the working class, but now they berate the left that is, you know, mostly rich. They berate the working class for not watching the latest Hollywood movie or buying the latest AAA game that costs over $100. It's like, oh, are you poor? You're racist because you don't buy our slop games. So ridiculous. But I should, you know, sort of thank the left for that, because I think the left-right paradigm is a stupid idea anyways, and doesn't really... It's not a good way of explaining reality. Like, it's too simplistic and doesn't make sense. But I think I've talked about that in another stream, so I really don't want to get into it. I want to find a suitable place to end the stream soon anyways. Oh, no, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Okay, he's dead. I'm not. Lo Wang! Yen Lo Wang! That has to be intentional. It's Yen Lo Wang, but, you know, Lo Wang from Shadow Warrior. Stupid enemies. Die. Oh, okay, he's dead. I don't like it that it's dark constantly. One of my pet peeves with video games is, you know, darkness. When it's too dark. Like, of course, you know, I do like darkness as, you know, creating atmosphere and stuff. But, like, you know, when it's just dark and you can't see shit, it sucks. I will never cease complaining about it, because video games are, you know, mainly a visual medium, and if you cannot see, you cannot play. Like, I can see, but it's, you know, it's still excessively arduous to see clearly. Especially, maybe I should, because there is some dust on my screen, and then the sun is bright. Now it's a bit better because I wiped the screen, but still not ideal. Mache. Oh, yes, a siege, dude. Come on. Stupid idiot. You idiot. You just stood there while he bombarded you to undeath. Or re-death. control them. Oh, no, 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 no. Run away. Okay, that's dead. Okay, can we finally just destroy this fucking thing? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what these are. Yeah, let's go up here. Iranian Highlands, so you erroneously think they are. So no, you erroneously think that everybody's high here, but actually no weed grows in these lands. Oh no, my Pokemon is dead again. So, which way now? Okay, retreat for just a little bit. Tactical retreat. Run away! Chama 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 chama. Writing toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis attack. Why? Why can't you go up there? Like it turns away immediately. Okay, whatever. Guess I'm gonna go up here first. Okay, nothing else here. Okay, I guess this area is clear. Maybe I'll just go to the rebirth fountain and then I will finish the stream. Go sell my crap first and then that might be a decent location. Yep. Planes of Judgment because the stuff, like, you know, the facilities are better here.
Yes? Goodbye, mortal.
Okay.
Who
Welcome, mortal.
Welcome, mortal. I guess I'll buy a few potions.
For earthly goods.
Because I know I won't remember next time. I guess that's good that I use the mana potions more quickly than the health potions. It sort of makes me feel better about myself. Like, you know, if you have to keep using health potions constantly, it's like, oh, I'm screwing up and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. So thanks for watching and bye bye.